All right, let's get into the list of stocks that were requested. And the first one being Meta. So Meta is bouncing back from a sell-off yesterday. Over the 5-day, it's down 3.88. Most of that drop came yesterday. It was a pretty good drop across the board. Some stocks took it harder than others. Meta is a really good quality company. It is an expensive company, $1.5 trillion. But they are the leader in social apps. The revenue is 156 billion. PE, considering that, I would be continuing to buy into the leader in their industry. I think the PE is reasonable, especially that forward PE at 24.8. And analysts believe it's a strong buy, but it's fairly priced, just a 5% discount. Now, when I look at Meta, you can see that their growth rate is there. 22 is probably the year when they were trying to make the metaverse work, but it didn't work. So they had to pivot and say, hey, let's get back to the businesses that we know we really dominate in. And they've been growing their business quite well. I mean, look at that growth on a very big number. So good job, Meta. The stock's done really well for the last couple of years. Let's take a look at their margins. I often say that, Meta most definitely is kind of an obvious, winner. You see these metrics, 81% gross margin. And it makes sense, right? When I go on Facebook and I create content or I interact with my family or friends, I'm creating content or I'm creating impressions and engagement, and Facebook isn't paying me anything. I'm actually seeing ads and they're making money off my activity on Facebook, as well as Instagram and WhatsApp. I mean, those are three applications that I use. I'm using Threads. And so the product is kind of like the people that go on their platforms, and they have either 3 or 4 billion, that's with a B, people that are monthly active users. That is huge. I don't think there's any other application probably Google search, but there's no other application that people are engaged with, kind of like communicating with another person on Earth. It's its biggest meta. So that's really, really impressive. And I think a really good jumping off point for AI. I think that Meta AI is super impressive. I've been playing around with the different AI apps, and Meta AI is the real deal. I ask questions and it comes back with really good answers. I use the image creation, pretty good images, and this thing's free, completely free. So when you look at the competitors, right, like ChatGPT was, call it the original, AI killer app, and it certainly got a lot of attention. But when I use ChatGPT, you have to be at a certain point after you get your free, kind of uses, you have to pay. And I think that's going to be short-lived because Meta is completely free and they give you everything you need. And I would argue that I've tested responses that are specific to me. It might be different for different types of people, but Meta actually gave me better information and better responses than ChatGPT, and even Microsoft's AI, whatever they call theirs. And I even compared it against, Google's Gemini AI. I thought Meta AI performed the best. So Meta AI is a part of the business plan for the company. They have billions of monthly active users. They can get access to Meta AI and they start a new business, a new successful business, which would be phenomenal. And I believe that Meta AI business is not included in the valuation of Meta, which I'll show you in a bit. So that's just one more reason why I love being a Meta stockholder. Free cash flow, look at this crazy number, $52 billion of free cash. And that is why this company is worth $1.5 trillion. Is the investing community is like, Meta is just a money-making operation. And they, in general, I really get a lot of good experiences on Meta platforms. Just recently, right, we're bumping up on the end of year holidays. We just had Thanksgiving, and my interactions with especially my younger generation family is all on Meta platforms. It's on WhatsApp, it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook. I mean, the volume of my family's Facebook use is really peaking this time of year, and it's really positive. Like my mom's birthday was yesterday, and on WhatsApp, I was able to FaceTime with one of her nieces. who has 3 little kids, and it made my mom super happy. And on Instagram as well as on Facebook, I was able to, inform everybody that it was her 89th birthday, and it just was like, 24 hours of just really, really cool, communication within the family. That's all on Meta. And I'm sure you guys are having similar experiences where you have friends, you have family that you get to communicate with using Meta. So I know that, sometimes politicians get out of their lane and start criticizing, oh, well, they have so much personal data. I'm sure they do. And they criticize it. And maybe there's good points to be made there. But in general, the way I see it is this is another great success story in business where this application was created because we have a connected world. It provides a lot of value to the people that use it, positive experiences. And, at the end of the day, I consider it somewhat free. I have to pay for internet. I have to log on to Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp, but it's free. It's like, man, that's great. I don't have to pay for it. If I have to, let's say, go watch a movie at a theater, I have to pay. If I want to go watch a football game, I have to pay. But Facebook and Instagram, they're free, so the consumer wins. So Meta is just a positive company in my book. Great growth, looks really good. Cash flows look phenomenal. Let me show you what I think the company is worth. It is the biggest investment in a stock that I've made. I should rephrase that. It's the most valuable investment that I have in a stock. But I've actually invested more in Google, but Meta stock has risen so much that it's the most valuable. I still think Meta is discounted, and I'm not including the Meta AI business. I'm not including I'm searching for the right words. The Ray-Ban glasses where they have augmented reality. Those are really a big hit, especially in Asia. There's been a lot of demand for those glasses. So we've got a company that's discounted, that's the leader in social apps, that's just killing it. And they have this great AI business. So strategically, Meta is great. I'm going to keep my stock. Whenever we have a big pullback, I can't help myself. I buy more shares, even though I own $263,000 of shares. I just can't help myself. I have a hold just because it's the biggest holding that I have of all of them. And Google is number 2. You can see I've invested more in Google. It just hasn't gone up as much as my Meta stock. So Meta is one of those, man. I'm going to hold it for a long time. I think it's an obvious winner for the future strategically. It's just really, really well set up.